Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got today's top news, and why am I holding XRP? Well, you're going to find out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.15 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 2.7% right now. Bitcoin, 26,300 plus. Ethereum, just under 1,800 bucks. We see $83.1 billion market cap for Tether, and XRP is 45 cents. Remember, we don't have a real legit regulated market until we understand exactly who in the hell is regulating Tether. Good afternoon, everybody. 45 cents for XRP. Like I said, 24-hour, we are off by 2.1%. We're up 2.6% on the 7-day, erasing the 9% gains we had yesterday. Right now, Glint is a way you can buy, save, send, spend real gold instantly with Glint. Let me tell you, this is the alternative to the banking system. It's real. It's happening. It's right here, and it's in your hands as a MasterCard debit card. Spend your physically allocated gold. Should something happen to our banks, and we've seen a lot of banks go down, you will have the ability to have access to your funds, and you could have it in gold or your dollars. I tell you, this is a remarkable product. Don't believe me? Check out the link from my sponsor. And right now, they're running a special 50% off of your fees for the next 12 months. That offer is not going to last very long. Click that link. We start right here with Michael Branch, who says, I covered this yesterday. I'm having such a hard time with this. Plans to restart the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX have been confirmed in a new staffing and compensation report filed with the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware on Monday. Where did they get the nerve? Where did they get the nerve? Meanwhile, Gary Gensler is adamant that his assault on crypto is protecting investors, but the reality feels more like a child's game, someone making up the rules as they go and changing them on a whim. Now, I don't think you could succinctly say it any more clearly than what was said right here by Crypto Law, because you could look to the SEC versus Ripple and follow the remarks of the SEC through that trial alone and see exactly that. They have been like a chameleon, shape-shifting their colors to suit the argument for the moment they're in. It has been despicable, actually said by the judge, an unfaithful allegiance to the law even. But here we see that there was that attempt with Ethereum to create a regulatory monopoly with people and the help of the SEC. Now, he's pointing out Hester Peirce here, and I have no knowledge of any of that. But what I suggest is this, is that we understand that there was some kind of help from the SEC. You know, William Henman came out and said in a speech in 2018, June 14th, I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, June 14, 2018, he comes out and he says exactly what? He says that notwithstanding the fundraising that Ethereum did, that it's not a security. Now that is despicable. You could say that about anything if you wanted to. But how is it that this is supposed to be his personal opinion, because no one entity or official of the SEC can speak for the agency itself, including Gary Gensler, by the way, then why have a hierarchy of chairmen to begin with if not one of them can speak for the agency at all? You know, when I look back at this and how deplorable and despicable this was, you know, I have to wonder, getting beyond the SEC versus Ripple and the ruling that we're waiting for there, what is going to happen to Ethereum and the rest of the players involved in ETHgate? Will there ever be accountability? Here's Jay Clayton, of all people, who dropped the lawsuit on the SEC from the SEC onto Ripple on his last day of office. And listen to him talk about how this crypto stuff's a problem, and mainly because of regulators. Well, if anybody would know.
Well, let's try and look at it as a little bit of a positive, because as we've talked about before, crypto, let's call it a technology that enables some new products, a technology that may enable a lot of products we know to function better. Crypto has not been handled well by the industry or frankly by the regulators.
If anybody would know.
And that we've talked about is because it emerged globally and emerged outside the financial system. So what does this report say? It says financial instruments, whether they're classified as securities or commodities, that are going to touch the retail public, that are going to be part of our ecosystem. They need to be regulated as we know well. And
so why not sue the one that's been more transparent than any other one, right? You know, you have to wonder what to make of this world we're in. And then we sit and then listen to this guy. Now, I have to remind you, because it's full disclosure, you should know. Michael Saylor was the biggest loser in the dot-com bubble. At least $13 billion loss. Keep that in mind while you listen to this.
I think a year ago, before Terra Luna, before all the bankruptcies, the question is what's going to happen. And then the plea has been, give us regulatory clarity. I think we're getting clarity. And I think the clarity is Bitcoin's a crypto commodity, and the regulators aren't going to interfere with it. And if you want to actually own and buy a crypto commodity in the form of Bitcoin, you're fine. I think the crypto exchanges are going to be reorganized. I think the cryptocurrencies in the form of stable coin are going to be regulated, if not regulated out of existence. I think the crypto tokens and crypto securities are going to be regulated, perhaps out of existence. So you've got your clarity. Your clarity is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most secure network. It's the most secure asset. Everything else has got a black cloud hanging over it, and you're going to see a consistent flow of capital flowing from the rest of the crypto ecosystem to Bitcoin, and you're going to see a consistent flow of development effort flowing from the crypto ecosystem on top of the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Well, I tell you, first of all, that'd be great if he's right, but I don't think that he is right, because the reality is that the Lightning Network is having all kinds of problems because they're trying to do fancy stuff on a network that isn't really designed for that. And now you have miners dropping out. They can't handle the rate, the power that it takes to mine. You know, there's so many issues going on. Then there's the BRC20 token that they're trying to launch off of Bitcoin's network, just like the ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. It's causing way more problems for the miners. It's more data to have to compute and all of this. You know, the fees are going up. The miners are going down. They can't handle it. You know, there's a lot of trouble there. Be fully aware of what you're holding, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, you cannot stop the technology of any of these value protocols. But you could tax it or regulate it out of existence if you want to. Japan is reportedly set to implement stricter anti-money laundering measures on June 1st, including FATF News controversial travel rule for cryptocurrencies. Remember, the travel rule is really about how much they're going to report, how much money is reported, and the size of transaction here. This is important because we know that FATF is the Financial Action Task Force, really connected to the G7, G20, and the travel rule is very important for coordinated effort of crypto regulation broadly across the globe. So, with that being said, the decision was made by Japan's cabinet on Tuesday. The nation's anti-money laundering steps were deemed insufficient by global financial crimes watchdog FATF. And it says here, FATF was urging member nations to introduce travel rule legislation as soon as possible. Earlier this month, the Group of Seven, intergovernment here, it says political forum, signaled the support for FATF efforts to accelerate global implementation of the travel rule. So we need to find out what the details are of what that's going to be, because Financial Action Task Force cannot regulate any one entity, but collectively it can be used as a weapon against countries that do not comply with the global regulations. Keep that in mind. And here we have it. A little birdie told me the Henman emails weren't the only thing coming. This is a comprehensive approach to determine the fair market value of XRP, ladies and gentlemen. A white paper soon to come for, I believe, Jimmy Valley and his camp. So stay on top of this one. This will be fun to see when it comes out here. But I want to remind everybody of this. And shout out to DAI for this as well here. What would have been the value of XRP now? Looking back in 2018, Robert Mitchnick at the time at Ripple and Susan Athey also came up with a valuation and said all models are wrong, but some are useful. And they quote George E.P. Cox there. And it basically, they came up with in 2018 a range of $1.59 and $8.23 per XRP in 2018. So ask yourself, knowing that there was, I believe, $15 billion lost from the lawsuit alone. Then go all the way back to 2018 and imagine if we got that clarity from William Henman and the SEC the way Ethereum did, what would the price be today? I don't know the answer, but I can tell you this is what I see the difference about Bitcoin and Ethereum here. As you know, a real iceberg has 3/4 of it underwater you can't see. I see that as XRP for sure. This sleeping giant is about to wake up, and I think that this summary judgment ruling from the judge is going to help it wake up. Because finally, I believe the law is actually on the side of Ripple and XRP, and I can't wait to get a ruling. And meanwhile, remember this? Why do I hold XRP from not financial advice? Well, I can't say it any better, so I'll let him say it for me too. This is why I hold XRP, and it is not financial advice.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors? Former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany? Former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.
Well, if you want to know what I'm holding and why, you got it all right there. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'll catch all of you on the next one. Not financial advice.